The warning. The Grand Hall of the Galactic Council floated in deep space, bigger than most moons. Inside, 50 alien races sat in circles of power. Each race thought they were special. Each race thought they were strong. But today, they all came to laugh at one small, blue planet. "Earth," said Ambassador Crix, his three mouths making an ugly smile. "They call their world Earth." The Zalcor Empire ruler stood tall on his 8 legs. His purple skin shined under the bright lights. Everyone listened when Crix spoke. His empire had destroyed 12 worlds. No one said no to the Zalcor. "These humans still use chemical rockets," Crix laughed. The sound was like breaking glass. "They burn liquid fuel to reach their own moon, like children playing with fire." Other aliens joined the laughter. The Vorthan delegate, a creature made of living smoke, whispered jokes. The silicon-based Kronars clicked their crystal bodies in amusement. Even the peaceful Aquarians bubbled with quiet humor. Admiral Zach, Crix's military commander, pointed at the hologram of Earth. "They sent radio signals into space. They actually think someone will answer." He shook his huge head. "They don't even have energy shields. One of our patrol ships could destroy them in minutes." "Then why do we wait?" asked a young Zalcor warrior. "If they are so weak, why not take their water? Their minerals?" Crix's eyes, all 6 of them, turned red with pleasure. "Because it's more fun to watch them try." Yesterday, they launched another primitive probe. They named it Hope 7. How cute. But then everything changed. Every screen in the Grand Hall went black. Every hologram disappeared. Every datapad stopped working. For 3 seconds, 50 alien races sat in complete darkness. Then came the voice. It was human, male, calm like still water. The voice came from everywhere and nowhere at the same time. "This is humanity's last warning." The lights came back, but now every screen showed the same thing. A blue planet, Earth. But something was different. The planet looked bigger, stronger, like a sleeping giant that just opened one eye. "You have 72 hours to leave our solar system," the voice continued. "All ships, all probes, all weapons. Leave or face the consequences." The message repeated 3 times. Then the screens went back to normal. For 10 seconds, no one moved. No one breathed. Then Crix started laughing. "Did they just threaten us? The mighty Galactic Council? With what? Their chemical rockets?" But Admiral Zach wasn't laughing. He was looking at his scanner. His green face became pale yellow. "Ambassador, something's wrong." "What do you mean?" Crix stopped laughing. "The message. Our security systems didn't detect it. Nothing was hacked. Nothing was broken. The message just appeared. That's impossible." The Vorthan delegate floated forward. "My people are master code breakers. No one can enter our systems without—" He stopped. His smoky form started shaking. "I'm getting reports. The message appeared on our home world too, on every world, at the exact same moment." Now the hall became noisy. Aliens talked in 100 languages. Fear spread like fire. "Silence!" Crix roared. "They got lucky, found some old technology, nothing more." He turned to Admiral Zach. "Take the 5th Fleet. Show these humans what real power looks like." Admiral Zach nodded, but his hands were shaking. He looked at his scanner one more time. "Sir, there's something else." "What now?" "Earth's sun. Our deep space monitors show it's dimmer, 0.3% dimmer than it was 1 hour ago." "Equipment failure," Crix said quickly. Too quickly. "No, sir. I checked 3 times. The sun is definitely dimmer. And, sir—" Zach's voice became a whisper. "It happened exit." Ambassador Crix stood tall, trying to look strong. "Coincidence. Nothing more. Admiral, take your fleet. Destroy their satellites. Show them the price of threatening the Zalcor Empire." As Admiral Zach left to prepare his 1,000 ships, His science officer ran up to him. The young officer's face showed pure fear. "Admiral, I found something else. Something about Earth's moon." "What about it?" The officer checked his pad again, not believing his own eyes. "Sir, Earth's moon moved 3 inches toward Mars. In the last hour, it moved 3 inches." Admiral Zack felt his heart skip. Moons don't just move. This one did, sir. And according to the gravitational readings, the officer swallowed hard. It moved on purpose. Someone moved it. Like it was a game piece. Admiral Zack looked back at Earth's image on the screen. The little blue planet that everyone called weak, primitive, helpless. But now, for the first time in his long military career, Admiral Zack felt something cold in his chest. Fear. The countdown had begun. 72 hours until humanity's deadline. The galaxy would never be the same again. The countdown, 48 hours, remained. Admiral Zack stood on the bridge of his flagship, the destroyer's Pride. Behind him, 10,000 Zalcor warships moved through space like hungry wolves. Each ship could destroy a moon. Together, they had never lost a battle. But Zack couldn't stop his hands from shaking. "Sir," his science officer whispered, "we're getting strange readings from Earth." "What kind of readings?" "Nothing, sir. That's the problem. We're getting... nothing." Zack turned sharply. "Explain." "Earth had 7 billion life signs yesterday. Now our scanners show 0. Like the planet is empty. But we can see cities with lights on, vehicles moving, everything normal, just no life signs." Before Zack could respond, every screen on his ship turned white. A woman appeared, human, old. She was sitting in a small kitchen making tea. Her gray hair was tied back. Her brown eyes looked tired but kind. "Hello, Admiral Zack," she said, stirring sugar into her cup. "My name is Dorothy Chen. I'm nobody special, just a grandmother from Kansas." Zack hit his communication button. "How did you access our systems?" Dorothy smiled. "Oh, dear boy, we didn't access anything. We've always been here, watching, waiting, hoping you would choose peace." She took a sip of tea. "But you never do you? If you think your tricks will save your pathetic world." "Pathetic?" Dorothy laughed. It was warm, like she heard a child say something silly. "Admiral, may I show you something?" The screen split. On one side, Dorothy in her kitchen. On the other side, Mars. The red planet everyone knew. Then Mars disappeared. 1 second it was there. The next, empty space. Then it came back. But now it was blue, covered in oceans. Then red again. Then it turned into a perfect cube. Then back to normal. All in 10 seconds. Dorothy took another sip of tea. "We've been playing with Mars for fun. The children love it when we make it change colors on Tuesdays." Zack's legs felt weak. That's impossible. The energy required would be more than your empire has used in 1,000 years. "Yes, dear, about that much." Dorothy put down her cup. "Admiral, we need to tell you a story. The real story of humanity." The screen changed. Images flashed by. But not Earth images. Alien worlds, alien faces, all crying, all afraid. 200 years ago, Dorothy's voice continued, "we watched your empire destroy the peaceful Kalari. They begged for mercy. You gave them none." The images showed Kalari children running from Zalcor soldiers. 150 years ago, you burned the forests of Sylvana. 1 billion tree spirits died in one day. More images, more death, more cruelty. 100 years ago, you enslaved the Mixari, made them dig until their hands bled. Zack wanted to look away but couldn't. "And each time," Dorothy said, "we wanted to help, but we were afraid. Not of you, but of what we might do if we got angry. The screen showed Earth now, but not current Earth, ancient Earth, millions of years ago. We weren't always from Earth, Admiral. We came from somewhere else, somewhere far away. We were warriors once, the greatest warriors the universe had ever seen. We destroyed entire galaxies in our wars. The image showed stars dying, planets breaking apart like eggs. But one day, we looked at what we had become. We saw the death, the pain, the emptiness of victory. So we made a choice. We would become something else. We would become protectors, not destroyers. Dorothy appeared again, now standing. Behind her, through the kitchen window, something impossible was happening. Jupiter was visible in Earth's sky, close, too close, like it was just hanging there, the size of the moon. We settled on Earth. We hid our technology. We pretended to be primitive. We watched. We waited. We saved who we could secretly. Every slave ship that mysteriously disappeared, that was us. Every tyrant who accidentally died before committing genocide, us again. She walked to the window, looking at Jupiter. But you're coming to hurt our adopted home now, and that we cannot allow. Suddenly, every star visible from Zach's bridge started moving. They swirled like water going down a drain. Then they formed words in space, words made of stars. Go home now. Then the stars went back to normal. A young man appeared next to Dorothy. He couldn't be more than 19. He was eating a sandwich, looking bored. Gran, can I show them the thing? He asked. Which thing, Jamie? The sun thing. Dorothy sighed. Don't scare them too much. Jamie grinned and snapped his fingers. Every star that Zach could see turned off. Complete darkness. Only the ship's lights remained. Then Jamie snapped again. The stars came back, but now they were all green, all of them. Another snap. They turned purple. Another snap. Back to normal. We control stellar fusion, Jamie said, taking another bite of his sandwich. Every star you can see, every star you can't see. We can turn them on or off like light switches. Admiral Zach's communications officer interrupted. Sir, emergency message from home. The main screen showed their home world, the mighty capital of the Galactic Empire. 15 billion citizens, the strongest defenses in the galaxy. But something was wrong. Words were appearing in their sky. Massive words made of clouds. Your children are safe. We took them before you could corrupt them. They will learn kindness. You have 24 hours. Zach's communicator exploded with messages. Every Zalcor colony, every military base, all reporting the same thing. Every child under 10 years old, gone, vanished. No signs of struggle, no broken defenses, just gone. Dorothy's voice was soft now. They're safe, Admiral. We're teaching them to be better than you. They're playing with human children, learning that strength isn't about hurting others. You kidnapped our children? We saved them, Dorothy corrected, from becoming like you. But don't worry. If you leave our solar system and promise to never hurt another world, your children will be returned when they're adults. Better adults. Kinder adults. Jamie finished his sandwich. Oh, also, check your weapon systems. Every weapon on every Zalcor ship started powering up, but not under their control. 10,000 ships, all weapons charging. In 10 seconds, Jamie said casually, all your weapons will fire at each other. Unless what? Zach screamed. Unless you say please. The weapons continued charging. 9 seconds. 8. 7. Zach's pride battled with his fear. 6. 5. 4. Please, Zach shouted. Please! The weapons powered down. Dorothy smiled sadly. See, that wasn't so hard. Being polite cost nothing, Admiral. She walked back to her chair, suddenly looking very tired. You have 24 hours now. Go home. Hug your wives. comfort your people. And remember, she looked directly at the camera. Her brown eyes weren't kind anymore. They were ancient, powerful, terrifying. Humanity is done being silent. We're done watching evil win. From now on, every cruel act, every genocide, every enslavement, we will stop it, not with violence, but with power you cannot comprehend. The transmission ended. Admiral Zack stood in silence. Around him, 10,000 of the galaxy's most powerful warships floated like toys. His navigation officer spoke quietly. "Sir, Earth." Zack looked at the screen. Earth was gone. In its place was a sign made of pure light, written in every language of the galaxy. Under new management, then Earth reappeared, but now it had rings like Saturn, beautiful, impossible rings made of pure light. A message appeared on Zack's personal screen, from his daughter, a video message. She was laughing, playing with human children and young Kalari, the species they had destroyed. She was happy, happier than he'd ever seen her. "Daddy," she said in the video, "the humans are so nice. They said if you promise to be good, I can come home for visits. Please be good, Daddy. Please." Admiral Zack, destroyer of worlds, conqueror of systems, felt tears on his face. 23 hours remained. The galaxy held its breath, and somewhere on Earth, Dorothy Chen finished her tea and started knitting a sweater for a young Zalcor child who had never known kindness before. The countdown continued, but everyone already knew how it would end. The revelation: 12 hours remained. The Galactic Council's emergency session was chaos. Every leader, every emperor, every warlord in the galaxy had gathered. Not in person. They were too afraid to leave their planets now. Ambassador Crick stood at the center, but he wasn't standing tall anymore. His purple skin had turned gray with fear. Behind him, a massive screen showed Earth. Those impossible rings of light still circled it, pulsing like a heartbeat. "They took our children," whispered the Vorthan Emperor. "All of them. In 1 second. They moved Jupiter next to Earth like it was nothing," clicked the crystal chronars. "Silence!" Crix roared, but his voice cracked. "They're bluffing. They must be. No species can have such power." That's when every planet in the galaxy received the same transmission. Not on their screens, not through their speakers. The message appeared directly in everyone's mind, in their own language, in their own voice. "Would you like to know the truth?" A human appeared on every screen, but not Dorothy this time. This was someone different. A young black woman in a white coat, standing in what looked like a classroom. Behind her, children of every species sat at desks. Zalcor children, Vorthan children, human children, all mixed together, all smiling. "My name is Dr. Sarah Okonkwo," she said. "I teach history, real history, not the lies you tell yourselves." She touched the board behind her. Star charts appeared, but these weren't current star charts. They were old, ancient beyond measure. 13 billion years ago, she began, the universe was young, and in that young universe, the first intelligent species arose. They called themselves the Architects. The star chart changed, showing galaxies being born. The Architects could reshape reality itself. They built stars, like you build houses. They created life on millions of worlds. They were gods in every way that mattered. Dr. Okonkwo walked between the children's desks. A small Zalcor girl handed her a drawing. It showed humans and Zalcor holding hands. But power corrupted them. They began to fight among themselves. The War of the Architects lasted 5 billion years. Entire galaxies died. Trillions of species were wiped out before they could even evolve. The images showed cosmic devastation beyond imagination. Stars exploding in chains. Black holes consuming entire galactic clusters. In the end, only a few thousand architects survived. They looked at the universe they had broken and felt something they'd never felt before. Shame. She put the child's drawing on the board next to the images of destruction. They made a vow. Never again. They would never use their power for war again. They found a small, quiet planet in an average galaxy. They rebuilt themselves, became something new, something better. Dr. Okonkwo smiled. They became human. The Galactic Council erupted. Shouts in 1,000 languages, denials, accusations, fear. But the transmission continued. We are the last of the architects. We have the power to unmake the universe itself. But we chose to make sandwiches instead. To raise children. To write poetry. To fall in love. To be small. To be kind. The classroom disappeared. Now Dr. Okonkwo stood in space. Actually stood in space. Without a suit. Without a ship. Stars swirled around her like snowflakes. But you forced us to remember what we were. She held out her hand. A star appeared in her palm. An actual star, compressed to the size of a marble, burning with the light of 1 billion suns. Let me show you what humans really are. The transmission changed. Now it showed Earth, but not from outside, from inside. Beneath Earth's surface, cities existed that defied physics. Cities where space folded in on itself, where one room could contain an entire continent, where millions of primitive humans worked on projects beyond alien comprehension. We've been busy, Dr. Okonkwo's voice continued. While you thought we were struggling to reach our moon, we were building something else. The image pulled back. Earth became transparent. Inside it, at its core, was something impossible. A white hole, the opposite of a black hole, a point that created matter and energy from nothing. Every Earth-like planet in the universe has one of these now. We installed them last Tuesday. It took us about an hour. Ambassador Crix's scientist grabbed his arm. Sir, if they can create white holes, they could destroy every star in the galaxy with a thought. The transmission showed more impossible things. Humans walking through walls, humans splitting into multiple versions of themselves, humans pausing time to have lunch, humans creating pocket universes for their children to play in. A small boy, maybe 8 years old, appeared on screen. He was playing with what looked like marbles, but each marble contained a galaxy, real galaxies with billions of stars, shrunk down for a child's game. Oops, the boy said as he dropped one. The marble shattered. A galaxy died. Mom will make me a new one. Then came the real revelation. Every natural disaster that had saved innocent worlds throughout history appeared on screen. The asteroid that stopped the Vega genocide. The solar flare that disabled the Krell invasion fleet. The plague that killed only the Murdoch slavers and no one else. All us, Dr. Okonkwo said. We've been saving you from yourselves for millennia. Every time a species was about to be extinct, we stepped in, quietly, invisibly. We've saved 847 species from genocide. You're welcome. She showed a map of the galaxy. Red dots appeared, thousands of them. These are all the hidden colonies where we've been taking refugees, slaves you thought died in transit, prisoners you thought were executed, scientists who disappeared before they could build doomsday weapons, all alive, all safe. All living in peace together. The red dots turned green. Then the hidden colonies became visible. Entire planets appeared out of nowhere. Beautiful worlds full of cities where every species lived together. We gave them a choice, Dr. Okonkwo explained. Live in peace or go back to war. Every single one chose peace. Funny how that works when you remove the tyrants. Admiral Zach's fleet was shown next. The 10,000 ships frozen in space. But now something else was visible. Around each ship, standing in the vacuum of space, were humans. Thousands of humans, just standing there watching, waiting. Some were reading books. One was playing a violin, in space, without a suit. We've been standing there for 6 hours, Dr. Okonkwo said casually, just in case you decided to fire. We would have turned your weapons into flowers. We've done it before. Ambassador Crix finally found his voice. What do you want? Dr. Okonkwo looked sad. We wanted to be left alone, to live our small, beautiful lives, to pretend we were just another young species finding its way. She showed Earth again, children playing, adults working, elderly people sitting in parks, simple, normal, human. But you came to hurt our home. You threatened our neighbors. You made us remember that we were once gods. And gods have responsibilities. Every nuclear weapon in the galaxy turned into a flower. Not metaphorically, literally. On every world, in every silo, on every ship. Billions of weapons became billions of roses, tulips, daisies. Soldiers across the galaxy reported the same thing. Their weapons had become musical instruments. Guns became flutes. Cannons became drums. Bombs became pianos. War is over, Dr. Okonkwo said simply. Not because we decree it, but because we've made it impossible. Try to build new weapons. You'll create art supplies. Try to throw a punch in anger. Your fist will open into a handshake. Try to speak cruel words. You'll sing instead. She showed the Zalcor homeworld. The clouds that spelled out messages were gone. Instead, rain was falling. But not water. The rain was made of small pieces of paper. Each paper had a child's drawing on it. Drawings from their kidnapped children, showing their parents how to be better. Your children are learning the most dangerous thing in the universe, Dr. Okonkwo said. They're learning to be kind. They're learning that strength isn't about hurting others. It's about having the power to destroy everything, and choosing to create instead. A Zalcor child appeared on screen, holding hands with a human child and a Kalari child. When I grow up, the Zalcor child said, I want to be nice like the humans. Ambassador Crix fell to his knees. Not in defeat, in understanding. The humans hadn't conquered them. They'd made conquest itself impossible. Dr. Okonkwo started to fade. 6 hours remain. Go home. Tell your people the truth. The age of empires is over. The age of gardens has begun. But before she disappeared completely, she added one more thing. Oh, and check your suns. Every star in the galaxy pulsed in unison. Once, twice, 3 times. Then they all shifted slightly. Not much. Just enough to spell out a message that could be seen from any planet in any system at any time of day. Be kind or be gone. The stars themselves had become humanity's warning. Then something beautiful happened. On the Kalari refugee world, the extinct species began to sing, a song of gratitude, of hope. One by one, every rescued species joined in, millions of voices across hundreds of worlds, all singing the same word in their own languages. Thank you. On Earth, Dorothy Chen heard the song while working in her garden. She smiled and whispered, You're welcome, children. You're all welcome. 5 hours remained, but the countdown didn't matter any more. The galaxy had already changed. Forever. The new dawn, 0 hours remained. But Earth was gone. Where the blue planet once orbited, only empty space existed. No debris, no energy signature, nothing. As if Earth had never existed at all. Ambassador Crix stood before the assembled Galactic Council, but he was a changed being. His 6 eyes, once red with conquest hunger, were now gray with humility. Around him, former warlords and tyrants looked like lost children. They're gone, whispered the Vorthan Emperor. The humans just left. That's when the universe itself began to speak. Not through speakers, not through screens. The very fabric of space-time vibrated with words. Stars pulsed in rhythm. Planets hummed in harmony. Every atom in every being resonated with the message. Look up. Everyone in the galaxy, on every world, looked at their sky. The stars were moving, all of them. Every single star in the visible universe was repositioning itself. Slowly, gracefully, like dancers in the cosmos. They formed a shape, a face, a human face made of billions of stars, looking down at all creation with infinite compassion. The face smiled and spoke with the voice of a child. "We haven't left. We've just gotten bigger." The stellar face dissolved. But now something else appeared in every sky. Doors. Massive doors made of pure light, floating above every inhabited world. Each door was different. Some were simple wood, others were elaborate gold, some looked like water, others like fire, but all were beautiful. Through these doors walked humans, but not as conquerors. They came as teachers, as healers, as friends. On the Zalcor homeworld, a human grandmother walked through their door. She carried a basket of something impossible, cookies that smelled like childhood memories, even to species that had never known cookies. She walked straight to Ambassador Crix's palace. The guards tried to stop her, but their weapons had become paintbrushes. They tried to block her, but their bodies moved aside on their own, gently, like they were dancing. She found Crix in his throne room, surrounded by his war council, all of them powerless and afraid. "Hello, dear," she said, offering him a cookie. "I'm Barbara. I understand you've been very naughty." Crix, destroyer of worlds, took the cookie with shaking hands. When he bit into it, he tasted something impossible. He tasted what his victims had felt. Every fear, every pain, every last moment of hope before death. He began to cry. For the first time in his life, he truly cried. "There, there," Barbara said, patting his massive arm with her tiny hand. "Tears are good. They mean you're learning." Across the galaxy, similar scenes played out. Humans walking into throne rooms, war chambers, slave pits, not fighting, just teaching. On the prison world of Theta 9, where millions of slaves mined toxic minerals, a young human man named David arrived. He touched the ground. The toxic minerals turned to sand, clean, white sand, then to soil, rich, dark soil. "Who wants to learn gardening?" he asked the stunned slaves. But the real shock came when the human children arrived. Through special doors came thousands of human children, each holding hands with the alien children who had been taken. The Zalcor children, the Vorthon youth, all of them. But they were different now. They glowed with a soft light. They laughed without cruelty. They helped without being asked. A Zalcor child ran to his father, a general who had destroyed 3 worlds. "Papa," the child said, "the humans taught me something amazing. Watch." The child held out his hands. Light gathered between them. Not destructive light, creative light. The light became a flower, then a tree, then a small bird that flew around the room singing. "I can make life now, Papa. Not just take it. Isn't this at better?" The general fell to his knees, embracing his child, feeling something he'd forgotten existed, hope. Then Jamie appeared, the teenager who had eaten a sandwich while demonstrating cosmic power. But now he stood in the center of the galaxy, visible from every world simultaneously, an impossible projection that defied all known physics. "Okay, everyone, check this out," he said, still casual, still young, still impossible. He snapped his fingers. Every destroyed world in the galaxy's history began to reappear. Planets that had been obliterated centuries ago reformed from cosmic dust. Dead stars reignited. Extinct ecosystems bloomed back to life. But they came back better, stronger, more beautiful. The Kalari homeworld, destroyed by the Zalcor Empire 200 years ago, reformed with crystal forests and singing oceans. The Sylvana worlds grew back with trees that touched space itself. Every dead world reborn, waiting for their people to return. "We've been saving backup copies," Jamie explained, like it was nothing. "Every time you destroyed something, we saved its pattern. Every person who died, we caught their soul, Yeah, souls are real, by the way. They're just quantum consciousness patterns. We keep them in a nice place, like a cosmic waiting room. He showed the waiting room. Billions of beings, all the victims of war and genocide, sitting in a beautiful garden that existed outside normal space-time. They were playing games, telling stories, waiting patiently. Anyone want their loved ones back? Jamie asked. The galaxy screamed, yes, in a million languages. Jamie grinned. Cool, but there's a price. The joy turned to fear. Of course there was a price. There always was. The price, Jamie continued, is that you have to forgive the ones who killed them. Really forgive, not pretend. We'll know if you're pretending. We can see your quantum emotional states. Silence. Horrible, complete silence. Then, on a small moon in the Vega system, an old female Kalari spoke. She had survived the genocide, lost everyone. I forgive the Zalcor, she whispered. I forgive them all. The moment she spoke, her husband appeared beside her, alive, whole, real. They embraced while the galaxy watched. One by one, survivors began to forgive, and with each forgiveness, the dead returned, not as ghosts, not as copies. The original beings, pulled from death itself, given back their lives. Dr. Sarah Okonkwo appeared then, standing in what looked like the United Nations building on Earth, except Earth still wasn't there. This building floated in the space where Earth should be. You want to know where Earth is? She asked. Earth is everywhere now. We've distributed it across quantum space. Every atom of Earth exists in every point of the universe simultaneously. We are literally everywhere and nowhere. She showed them. Earth hadn't disappeared. It had become infinite, existing in every dimension, every timeline, every possible reality at once. Humans hadn't left. They had become omnipresent. We are in your morning coffee, she said. We are in your children's laughter. We are in the space between atoms. We are in the pause between heartbeats. We don't rule you. We surround you. We protect you, always. A Zalcor scientist, young and brilliant, asked the question everyone was thinking. What if we say no? What if we refuse this new way? Dorothy Chen appeared to answer. Not the grandmother from Kansas, the real Dorothy Chen, the architect. Her true form was impossible to fully perceive. She existed in too many dimensions at once, but her voice was still kind. Then you can leave, she said simply. We've prepared a universe for you, an exact copy of this one, but without us. You can have your wars there, your empires, your cruelty, but... She paused, and in that pause everyone saw it. The other universe, empty of humans. It was dark, cold, dying. Bexy, us without someone to secretly save them from themselves. Every civilization had destroyed itself within 1,000 years. Without kindness, Dorothy said, the universe dies. We learned that the hard way 13 billion years ago. You can learn it too if you want. Your choice. Ambassador Crick stood up. He removed his crown, the symbol of the Zalcor Empire. He had worn it for 300 years. He threw it to the ground, where it became a shower of butterflies. We choose kindness, he said. One by one, every tyrant, every warlord, every emperor in the galaxy repeated the words, we choose kindness. The human boy from the transmission, the one who played with galaxy marbles, appeared in front of them all. He was smiling. Good choice, he said. Want to see something cool? He held out his hands. In them was a small seed. This is the seed of tomorrow. Plant it anywhere. It will grow into whatever that world needs most. Trees that clean the air, flowers that cure disease, fruits that end hunger, but it only grows with love. Try to use it for war, and it becomes a regular seed. Seeds appeared in every hand, on every world. Billions of beings holding the future. One more thing, the boy added. Check your DNA. Every species did. And they found something impossible. A new gene sequence. The same sequence in every living thing. A message written in the language of life itself. You are family now. Act like it. The stars rearranged one final time, spelling out 5 words that would remain forever. The Garden Age has begun. Then Earth reappeared, but not where it had been. It was everywhere. In orbit around every inhabited world was a small piece of Earth, an island floating in space, protected by impossible barriers, with a small house on each. In each house lived one human, a guardian, a teacher, a friend, someone to watch, someone to help, someone to remind them that strength meant choosing to create rather than destroy. On the Zalcor homeworld, in their piece of Earth, Dorothy Chi, the grandmother from Kansas, not the architect, tended her garden. Ambassador Crix visited her the next day. "Why?" he asked. "Why save us? After everything we did?" Dorothy smiled, handing him a watering can. "Because, dear, someone once saved us when we were monsters. Now help me with these tomatoes. They're going to be magnificent." As Crix watered alien tomatoes on a floating piece of Earth, while his former empire learned to paint instead of fight, while the dead reconnected with the living, while children taught their parents to create instead of destroy, the universe itself seemed to sigh with relief. The age of conquest was over. The age of gardens had begun. And in every garden, in every world, humans quietly pulled weeds and planted seeds. Not as gods, not as conquerors, but as gardeners of hope. The galaxy's last warning had become its first promise. Be kind, and kindness will be everywhere. Be cruel, and you'll be alone forever. The choice was made. The stars sang with joy. And somewhere, in quantum space where Earth existed everywhere and nowhere, a young human child picked up new marbles to play with. But these marbles didn't contain galaxies. They contained dreams. And dreams, the humans knew, were the seeds of better tomorrows.